Haiti is working towards uplifting the people to understand the context of living a political life in Haiti. So we working with grassroots organizations and help to push our agenda forward in terms of helping Haiti to go
with
forward in
grassroots
the future.
organizations and help to push our agenda forward in terms of helping Haiti to go
With
forward in
grassroots
the future.
organizations and help to push our agenda forward in terms of helping Haiti to go
With
forward in the
grassroots
future.
organizations and help to push our agenda forward in terms of
We got a little echo going,
helping
but
Haiti to go forward in the future. And help
we
push our agenda forward in terms of
we got a little echo going,
helping
but
Haiti to go forward in the future. And help
we
push our agenda forward in terms of
we got a little echo going,
helping
but
Haiti to go forward
if you could tell us, we if you could tell us about if you could tell us, we if you could tell us about if you could tell us, we if you could tell us about we got a serious echo going on. So if you could
That's
tell us about the assassination, not too long ago there was an assassination on the president of Haiti. So if you could tell us about the assassination, not too long ago there was an assassination on the president of Haiti. Um, can we talk about that a little bit and how that's impacted Haiti?
Yes, I think that it was something so unfortunate that happened to Haiti as the first black country who which got its independence in 1804, and we haven't had that kind of assassination of a president since the 19th century. So when it happened, now it was so unfortunate because we are a nation where we were struggle with gangsters all around the country, and the result of that was the assassination of the president Jovenel Moise from the night of July 7th. And from that situation, I think some of the folks were asking for justice for the president because they want to know the source or the intellectual author of this assassination of the president. It had some kind of psychological effect on the nation because when you have the first leader of the country being assassinated, the country is like a vulnerable country, and it had that kind of a psychological effect on the nation. But we in the Green Party in Haiti, we condemned this kind of assassination of the president, even though we did not really share the political vision of the president. But as Haitians, citizens, we said that this is something that shouldn't happen in Haiti. It is something that we condemn, and we hope that there will be some kind of justice for this kind of assassination because it was an unfortunate situation.
Yes, sir. What kind of differences did did the Green Party of Haiti had with the president that was assassinated and even the present leadership in Haiti?
Normally, in the Green Party in Haiti, we believe in sustainability development. We work with folks from rural area because we believe in the Green Party that the development of Haiti has to come within Haiti itself. And for this to come within Haiti itself, we have to empower folks and to help them to understand that if we come together as a party, there are so much a thing that we can accomplish. And the difference is that sometimes the agenda of the former president, unfortunately being assassinated, The difference with the Green Party is that they had an agenda where they rely too much on the international, which wouldn't be a problem because if there is a strong leadership where they can give some kind of orientation to the international community when they want to help Haiti in whatever way they want to help Haiti, but they have a strong leadership that could give some kind of orientation and say, okay, we have that kind of needs in this particular area, whether it is in education, whether it is in any other thing that can help the country moving forward. That would have been a very good thing. But when we are a country where everything that we are doing has to be dictated by the international, so the Green Party has that kind of little different with the administration of the former president, and we think that now we have to empower our people to move forward. And if there is anything that we can receive from the international, it has to go from the sustainable development of the country.
Um, wow, that's interesting. Um, Mr. Fermin, did you want to chime in on that?
Just giving hello,
Yes,
say
sir.
hello to everybody, and I'm very happy for the invitation. Now the situation is very very bad in Haiti because we have a lot of polification of the group of gangster, and now we think that Green Party is planning to make something better in Haiti and our programs, and now we prepare something else for the development and also for to move forward with the country.
So what the Green Party of Haiti is talking about is using the resources that Haiti has in a sustainable manner to sustain the people of Haiti.
Yes, we strongly believe in that. And we push this agenda forward because we know that we believe in our people. We believe that we have a strength. We have a capacity to do what we have to do. All that we need is to come together. And by the fact that we know that the world is a global village, we have to work with everybody. But the thing is that we have to welcome everybody within our agenda. If they want to cooperate with us, that would have been good. But we do not need someone to dictate us in terms of this is what we have to do.
So I want to pull up a quick clip of something that happened. You guys, there was a big, before I move to that, how has the earthquake impacted, well, how has the assassination impacted the government's ability to function?
I think that now it's a very tricky situation by the fact that now there are some kind of suspicion about the assassination of the president. Even as yesterday, the Washington Post, I read an article from the Washington Post that the current prime minister had a talk or had some kind of conversation with the fugitive, the person they say is the intellectual author of the crime of the president that they are searching for now, and that put the government in a very difficult situation because they cannot gain the trust of the people by the fact that the prime minister, the current prime minister now, was asked to go to the tribunal. So things are not clear, and up to now we are proposing that there should be, as a Green Party, we are proposing that there should be a national conversation in terms of where the country should go in that difficult situation.
When will the elections be for like president and just any other elections that are really key to the Green Party of Haiti playing a role in this vacuum that's happening right now in Haiti?
Basically, now it is difficult to speak of election by the fact that things are not clear. We have the electoral college, after the assassination of the president, the international community was asking that the election would have been kept earlier, but because of the gangsters, because of the insecurity, because of the kidnappings that are going on the island, now they believe that there should be a political agreement before we could think of election. By the fact that now people wouldn't be able to go out now to vote, I think that this is something that is being planned now, but for now we cannot really know exactly when the election is going to take place.
Wow. So you're saying right now it's not a safe. People are being kidnapped. There's some gangster stuff going on that's interfering with the politics in Haiti.
Yes. And because
Wow.
of that, it's not a secure context where elections can happen.
So this isn't a case where you're saying, though, going back to what we were just talking about, that we don't need international. Do you think there should be international intervention to make sure that there are free and fair elections in Haiti, or is this something that the Haitian people should get done amongst themselves?
I think we have been too long being dictated by what the international community has been doing on the ground of Haiti, and the result are not positive, I can say. But now I think that if there is any agreement, it should be coming from within the country among the political leaders, so that they can normally find out a way to move forward in terms of, because I can say from the experience of the 2010 earthquake, where the international community said that they would have done so many things to Haiti, but the result was so negative. So I think that the leaders should take that lesson and say that now let us do something on our own just to move the country forward.
Yes, sir. And speaking of, you went right into my next question. Um, first, I'd like to because first I'd like to thank you guys for stepping up
Yes.
as Greens to fill a vacuum that's going on right now in Haiti. I have a clip here that I want to play from that you guys sent me earlier.
Okay.
And that was a clip of some of the things that are going on right now in Haiti. That was when the earthquake, from the earthquake that happened. How has the earthquake and the storms and stuff in Haiti impacted the Haitian people?
Yeah, I think that it was a very difficult situation. Me myself, I experienced the earthquake in Port-au-Prince in 2010, and it is something that I hope won't happen to me again, because it was so terrible. And when I hear that it happened to the people in the south of Haiti, that was so unfortunate. And people were being left homeless in the street. And right after that, there is the Hurricane Grace that took place, and the people were more vulnerable, and continue to be vulnerable in this situation. And the Green Party in Haiti, we are trying just to work with the folks in the south to see what we can do. The national committee has been putting on some plan in terms of assisting or supporting the people. But the thing now is that we are not in the day or in the context of emergency anymore, because what we did, we bring when the earthquake happened the first week, we made sure that some of the folks had some kind of items like hygienic item and food items and clothes and water. But now, as a school is about to reopen, what we're about to do is to support small businesses in the south where people can sustain themselves. Because what we think as a Green Party, as the Green Party in Haiti, we believe that today we cannot continue give food and water and everything to people. What we do is try to empower them through their small businesses so that themselves they can sustain themselves in the long future and find a way to send their children to school and normally to find a way to put a roof on their head. So that's what we are working on now, and that's what our plan as a Green Party in Haiti, and we work with the grassroots organizations on the ground of the South to make sure that what we have in hand, we make sure that the people have something just to sustain themselves, not for people to bring some kind of support to them from time to time. That's what we are working on for now.
So something long term for people, long term housing, long term food, long
Yes,
term schooling options for the children in Haiti to get back on their feet.
that's what we are doing as a Green Party.
And also, we think that the earthquake is not a fatality. We must prepare for that. We have in the Green Party. We have a long-term plan that we are developing at the level at the future in the Green Party and Haiti, and also the Green Party that take care of the way we build just to avoid the next disaster. We we plan that with some engineer in the country, and we sit down with them and we prepare that just for the future.
How does climate change come into this in Haiti? What's
I yeah, so that's something as Green Party we are normally, that when we say Green Party, we see that we think about what we call forestation. I mean, we have to make sure that we have a plan of normally planting trees because of the poverty in Haiti. Sometimes people are cutting trees just to make charcoal to survive, and it's
Mm.
something that we are fighting against by the fact that we try to come with other kind of energy for people to keep moving forward. So, as my colleague said earlier, we believe that we have to build something more resilient, not only to protect the environment because climate change is real, but also to make sure that when the natural disasters come, we make sure that we have some kind of resilience houses, and the environment can help also in terms of protecting the people when there are those kind of natural disasters.
Okay, so we know that climate change causes what people are saying is migration.
Yes.
Um, we just seen the U.S. military basically give up in Afghanistan, but while they were giving up, they were allowing Afghan residents to come to the United States.
Yeah.
I want to play a clip from, I think this is CBS, this is from Reuters, and it says U.S. removes Haitian migrants at Mexican border. And then I want us
Yeah.
to talk about what you think about that.
Agents at the U.S. border with Mexico have begun moving thousands of Haitian migrants sheltering under a bridge in the Texas town of Del Rio. The increasingly poor conditions under the Del Rio International Bridge, which connects the Texas city with Mexico, led the Department of Homeland Security to accelerate flights to Haiti and other destinations within the next 72 hours. The DHS over the weekend said some 2,000 people were removed to other immigration processing stations on Friday, as the town has been overwhelmed by an influx of Haitian and other migrant groups. The department said the transfers will continue to ensure that migrants are, quote, swiftly taken into custody, processed, and removed from the United States, consistent with our laws and policy. But many, like Haitian migrant Alex Rosier, fear returning to their homeland.
If I am deported now, I'll die in Haiti. Why? Because there's no security in Haiti. There are bandits, There is civil war every day. It's very complicated because there is no leadership in Haiti. There is nothing.
While migrants seeking jobs and safety have been making their way to the U.S. for months, it is only in recent days that the number converging on Del Rio has drawn widespread attention, posing a humanitarian and political challenge for the Biden administration.
So, with what you just heard and what we were just talking about, what are your thoughts on what we just heard?
Um, I think that migration is a real issue around the world. And people from Africa, sometimes from the continent of Africa, they are migrating to the Europe. And I think that people from the Caribbean, specifically from my country, Haiti, has been migrating to the United States or to Chile, to Brazil, to the North America. So they are looking for a better life, and I think that now, from a historical perspective, we know what we call imperialistic countries who normally impoverished some of the countries or other countries around the world. And
Yeah.
normally, I think that now, because of those kind of thing, which has been going on for a long time, people do not really have enough means to survive in their homeland, and they have to migrate, believing in their mind that if they migrate to the United States or somewhere else, they will find a better life. So I think that now, I think the Biden administration should normally try to rethink the way they are treating those folks, because before, even in the case of Africa or in Haiti, for people to take that risk, to migrate, they sell sometimes things that they possess. I mean, so they believe that, but because they have been struggled so much, they cannot put their head out of the water, and they have to migrate, to find something better to survive. So I saw some videos where people were being deported in Haiti, as early as this afternoon. I was watching a video about that on the national airport in Haiti, and they are giving some kind of interview. And I think that now the situation that is going on in Haiti, before deporting somebody in Haiti, they have to think, and if this person is going to be secured, because the situation for now in Haiti is not so good. So I understand the situation where the Biden administration has to take some decision, but I think that they have to take some kind of rational decision in terms of how they are deporting those folks, because they might deport them today, and after some time ago, they will normally face the same situation with those kind of folks. I mean, I think that we have to tackle this issue seriously, and the thing that I think that those big countries have to do is to find a way, to normally not to interfere too much in the things that has to do with those countries. By the fact that when they are doing that, the results are not so good, and now people will find a better way. And I think that now they have something that they have to think rationally before they are doing anything, as such as deporting people and the ground and wherever they have to deport them.
And just to add something else, I think that today, I believe that today we must have a plan. It is essential that all Latin American country and Caribbean state join effort and pool their resources to resolve this problem today. In a spirit of cooperation and solidarity, and the common problem they face, such I think that also we must to resolve the health crisis linked to the COVID-19 pandemic, migration issues, climate change, the problem of financing development, and also I think that uh, this can help us to reduce of poverty and social and economic inequalities in the world. That is the better thing that we can work on it.
So, and oh wow, and that's a great answer. And I just want to talk about just the history of Haiti real quick. This the Haitian Revolution. The people of Haiti were some of the first slave rebellions to rise up, successful slave rebellions to rise up in the Western Hemisphere, um, and talking about the poverty in Haiti, it's not really I wouldn't say the people of Haiti's fault. Do you think that there should be some debt relief of for Haiti from some of the Western powers?
I think that it's an issue that we have been talking about in the Green Party in Haiti. I always say to folks that Haiti is not normally a poor country, but an impoverished country. I mean, the poverty in Haiti is not coming from within Haiti itself, but it has been some historical things. Because we, after our independence, we paid some money to France that we should not pay for our independence.
Right.
And I think that that debt relief should have been given back to Haiti for its sustainable development, which has not been done since. And the second thing is now we have to know where we are as a country and the role that the international is playing in the political affairs of the country and where we should go. Because as my colleagues say, as long as you do not resolve those problems, there should be this kind of migration and poverty going on the ground. And I think that now that the international community have to rethink the political system around the world just to give those countries like Haiti or countries in Africa a chance just to develop themselves and to move forward because they have been so long impoverished by those imperialistic countries and they need a time now to breathe for themselves. Now we do not want people just to say just to give things to us. And I think what we need now is to cooperation for people, okay, to say, if you want to offer this, this is how we have to give some kind of orientation to this thing that you are giving to us. So this is what we think, because as the first Black country independent, we had the opportunity to help so many countries in the Latin America and even the United States in the fight in Savannah to get some kind of freedoms. I mean, we help people around the world as the first Black people and get our independence from France. So now I think that the world should have a sit back and see us in a different way in terms of how they can be with us just to move forward.
Wow. And just expanding on what you was just saying, that the Haitian government was forced to borrow 30 million francs from France, from
yes,
the banks, to make those first two payments. And then Haiti, because of, defaulted on those. So that's what we're saying. Would you guys like to see that debt be erased?
That's true, because I think that now it's a debt that normally keep us backward as a country, because by the fact that we are in terms of development in our early stage as a country after getting our independence, we needed that money for the sustainable development of the country. But instead of investing that money within the affairs of the country, we have to pay that money to friends. And
Right.
now I think that it's time for them to see things from a different perspective and to say that this debt has to be released to Haiti for now for its sustainable development.
Absolutely. What does what are you guys as the Green Party right now in Haiti, with the situation on the ground there? What are you trying to accomplish? What are your goals, and what help do you need from the Green Party of the United States and the other Green parties across the world? Canada, Green Party of Wales, etc.
And I think that now our colleague in the Green parties around the world in the United States, I think they can work with us within the national plan that we have to sustain folks, because we have so many projects going on. We have forestation project going on because we have to take care of our environment. That's the first thing we have as a green party. And we have also the goal to sustain the people through small businesses, because this is what we believe will keep the country going forward, and to keep the people economically strong. So if the Green Party and the United States can work with us on this matter, I think it's going to be great. And normally we can develop a kind of a long-term plan together, and normally together we can see how we can work towards those goals.
So right now, if there's people who want to get in contact with you, or that want to help, what is your website? How can they go about contacting the Green Party of Haiti? And how can they make donations, etc.?
I think that now, what we can do, by the fact that it's this show that we are participating in it tonight, we just we had some kind of national plan in terms of sustaining the people, by the fact that any greens around the world did not ask us before what we would like them just to cooperate with us on. So I think that my colleague, we have a website that we can share with you, that we are normally working on now, and on rebuilding our website just to put some new information on. We can share that website with you. And the second thing that we can do from an international perspective is to make sure that we create a GoFundMe, a thing that can help people contribute towards that sustainable development, from specifically for the folks in the south, who were affected by this earthquake. And I think that this will be great just to have that kind of cooperation.
Also, how can people get involved with the deforestation plan? I know Greens around the world are going to be very excited to hear that Haiti, the Green Party of Haiti, is moving forward with that initiative.
We can share our email, and what we can do is to share some of the documents we have in terms of goal, in terms of forestation, what we intend to do. So we can share some documents with them that we can have we have in the office of the Green Party in Haiti. We can share those documents so that they can have an idea where we want to go in terms of the forestation of Haiti, and other projects that are going on for now.
Awesome. And just one last time, what is your message to the Biden administration about what's happening at the border and what's happening in Haiti?
My message to the Biden administration is that they have to think rationally in terms of how they are deporting people. I think that, I don't know, but I think that the administration should have a better way of treating the people. And I think that there is a TPS program going on for the Haitian community in the United States. And I think that the Biden administration, I don't want to tell them what to do, but I just want to say they should think rationally how to treat those people, because they are leaving their homeland in search of a better life. So
Exactly.
when they have that in mind, they should know how to treat them, how to normally support them and assist them, because some of the women are having babies with them. I think that the babies and the children on the border, they need some kind of support and assistance. And I think that the Biden administration should think about that and know exactly how to give some kind of orientation to those folks.
And then lastly, for me, we haven't heard from Dorbs yet. I would like to have you guys come back in about 2 weeks. We didn't get to jump into COVID and how that's impacting Haiti. We didn't get to talk about how the Green Party platform as a whole, as far as talking about Medicare for all, and how our platform is probably the best platform in the world for the people of Haiti. So we look forward to you guys coming back and talking a little bit more about that. But one more time, give us that website, and if anybody wants to get in contact with the Haitian Green Party and its delegation, how can we do that?
I think that the website is in Creole, www.haitivet.org. So I think that my colleague Abens will share it with you, so that they can visit the website and normally see what we are doing in Haiti.
Awesome. So yeah, in about 2 weeks from now, 2 Sundays from now, we're gonna invite the Haitian Green Party back here to give us an update on the progress and what's going on, and see what else that the rest of us around the world can do to help. I'll make sure I stay in touch with them throughout the week, so we can start organizing and getting some work done for the people in Haiti.
All right, sir.
Thank you for coming on and talking to us, taking time out your day to talk to us about the Green Party in Haiti and what's going on in Haiti, what's going on at the Texas border with the Haitian people. Looking forward to having you guys back again. Thank you for coming on and blessing us with your presence. We're going to try to network with you and help you build the Haitian Green Party is the best we can.
Okay, thank you, sir, and thank you again for having us, and thank you everybody for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I work that things will improve for the well-being of the Asian population. Thank you so much.
Doubt. Thank you. No doubt, ladies and gentlemen, and that was the Haitian Green Party delegation joining us here on the Trahern Crews show. I'm the co-chair of the Green Party Black Caucus and the chair of the Green Party of Minnesota. So our brothers in Haiti reached out and wanted to talk about what the situation on the ground and some of the things that are happening in the Texas border, and how Greens and just American citizens or citizens around the world can help with their effort. And I think just starting out with sustainability, forestation, and debt relief is a good place to start with our brothers and sisters in Haiti to help them start rebuilding over there. To my Facebook audience, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to another edition of the Trahern Crews show right here on 94.1 FM Frogtown Community Radio. Tonight's show is dedicated to Lois Foreman and Natasha Presley, who were murdered in a savage act of stupidity and gun violence. So Lois was a big, I wouldn't be doing some of the things that I'm doing now as far as radio, as far as music. Lois was like 24 when I met him, and he brought a whole new style of just music and things to Gladiator Records, and it helped propel me to do some of the things I'm doing now with the Green Party, Black Lives Matter Minnesota, and the reparations movement. Just the way he was thinking, he was making sure that I always had the software that I need and the technology that I need to get where I'm to do the things that I needed to do, and even making sure if it came to that I had somewhere to rest my head, and we did, and I returned the favor to him. So it was good to see him and his family and his children today. Wasn't good to see them. It was good to see them because it's always good to see them. But I wish we were all getting together on different circumstances. So this show is dedicated to process, Lois Foreman, and Natasha Presley. I'd like to thank you all on Facebook, YouTube, for tuning in to another edition of the Trahern Crews show. We'll be back Wednesday to talk about reparations and some other things that are happening in the community. All right. Thanks again. Thanks to our brothers from Haiti for taking time out to join us on short notice and jump on the Trahern Crews show and talk to the people of St. Paul. All right. Peace. And for our listening audience on Frogtown, we're going to jump back into some more music, and then we're going to finish honoring Black men. We just honored some Black men and respect what Black men are doing in the diaspora, but we're going to bring it back to the American descendants of slavery on our next break and honor some Black men right here in Minnesota. You're listening to the Trahern Crews show on 94.1 FM, Frogtown Tuned In Radio.